Okay, so the first question regards Pirate Chain. Pirate Chain, where do you see Pirate Chain in its positioning, and after everything you explained regarding Monero, what role do you
Uh,
see
uh,
Pirate Chain playing?
yeah, I am extremely bullish on Pirate Chain, and the reason for that is I think the fact that Pirate Chain uses fundamentally different privacy technology, that it uses ZK snarks, is enormous, right? So Monero, its technology is amazing, but the privacy community, by its very nature, needs diversity. It need, and I know there's a lot of calls for diversity. I'm not calling for that kind of diversity, but I'm calling for diversity in technology and diversity in protocol. As far as we can tell, there's really only two options out there, right? There's Monero's privacy technology, which uses ring CT, and other elements as well. And then there's Pirate Chain, which is ZK snarks, where it's mandatorily private as opposed to, say, in Zcash, which doesn't really work, as we know. And I think that there's a massive place for having an alternative technology, because we know that privacy is always going to be evolving and come under attack. And you need that. I think I call it redundancy in the system. When you're building any kind of a technical system, you always want to have redundancy, a backup plan, that if the power goes out, you've got a generator that keeps you going, right? Same thing applies to the privacy coin community. And I think that having a viable backup, if you will, is enormously valuable. Now, that's sort of underselling it, I think, because honestly, I think Pirate has the ability not just to be a backup, but to be the lead. It's from a privacy perspective itself, you can argue that it's actually superior to Monero. I know that's a bit controversial for some people, some Monero maximalists. I get that, but there's a really strong argument to be made in that regard. So I think
I mean,
that
and
the
you were
notion,
Monero maximalist, right? For a long time, were you
I,
not?
I absolutely was, and I thought there was only room for one, but it was realizing just how important redundancy is in this system, especially realizing how it's going to always be under attack, right? Whether it's a function of just hackers trying to figure out new ways around it, to break the code, which we don't think is possible, but you never know. There's always exploits that are possible, or it could be a different kind of attack. It could be a human behavioral attack, or affecting the network, or reducing confidence in the network. We all see the trials and travails of Fluffy Pony right now being presumably targeted, for very questionable allegations. Let's say that we all suspect is really driven by an attack on Monero, right? And his association with Monero is kind of what we think is the most likely scenario. There's all sorts of ways that projects could be compromised, and I think the value of having a really powerful alternative, I think, is enormous. So the fact that Pirate Chain is trading at such a small fraction of Monero's market cap, to me, that's just wrong. And I have been adding myself. I've been adding to my own bags. I think bear markets are where you want to do that. In a bull market is where I would see Pirate Chain really showing itself and actually stepping back up to kind of the levels that it had been at the previous highs. And forget nominal dollar prices. Just think in terms of relative to Monero. It traded as high as about sort of 15 to 20% of Monero's market cap. And I don't have it in front of me, but I think we're at like less than 5% now, which is nothing. It's absolutely nothing. So to me, Pirate Chain is not going anywhere. And as Monero grows, as the awareness of privacy coins grows, I think that we are going to enter a new bull market. It's not a question of if, but when. And when that happens, I think we're going to see massive outperformance in Pirate Chain. And I'll just add, there's actually one other coin. And it's super small market cap right now. It's whale narrow. I've written about it. I think having a third is powerful, and I've written about why a meme coin is actually even considered having fundamental value. I think that's a huge part of it as well. So I remain constructive. But look, these are bull market trends. Until the market gets big enough that it can stand on its own legs, it's going to be subject to the vagaries of the overall market moves. So I think Pirate Chain and Monero and a few others, they're going to probably lag Monero, because Monero is sort of the safe haven, if you will. And it's also, by virtue of its larger market cap, it's also where institutional money can start to play and not drive the price up too crazily, right? So they can actually accumulate a stake without pushing it up too much, which is what they want. You don't want to push the price up. Individual investors, we all think the same way, right? We want to buy, we want to put, I don't know, let's just say $5,000 into a coin, and then we want to see it go, 10 times the next day. Institutional investors want to put a lot more money in, and they don't want it to go up until they're done. And when a market cap is really small, it's hard to do that. So Monero right now has the ability to absorb more of that money without pushing it up too much, until all of a sudden everyone realizes that all the excess supply has been taken away, and then it does pump. So look, I think that Pirate, I think WoW, I think other names that we've got that we've spoken about before. I think that they're just a huge opportunity right now is to be stacking. This is how you generate the big returns, right? And I think Jeff's trade in Luna is an incredible example, right? You've got to go against what the market's telling you. You got to be right and go against what the market's telling you, right? And it's, if you're waiting for everybody to tell you, oh, it's a great thing to do, and the market's telling you it's a great thing to do, then it's too late. Then it's already priced in. So these bear markets where you've got conviction, this is where you buy Luna at 0.0000001 cent, and you make crazy returns on a technical, or you buy Pirate Chain or Monero at really low prices, and then you wait for everybody else to catch up to you. It's about being early. It's about being right and being early, and you have to have a stomach for it, because you've got to be willing to go against the market. One of the great things about markets, as opposed to, say, gambling. So like some people say, oh, investing in crypto or investing in anything is just gambling. Well, here's why it's not. Okay. If you walk into a casino and you go to the blackjack table with the craps, let's say the craps table, the odds, right? The odds are 49% in your favor and 51% in favor of the house, right? And maybe you'll get lucky and you have a big roll, and you've got the mojo, and you walk away up. That's great. In markets, the odds are in your own mind. All you see is a price, and you can say, what, your price is wrong. Your price in terms of where it's going is wrong. So in my mind, even though the price is actually quite low in Pirate Chain right now, the odds of doing well on it are enormously beneficial relative to to getting hurt on it. Certainly in a longer time horizon, you kind of make your own odds. You're looking at the market and going, all right, well, what odds do you make? What do you think it's worth? And that's why I think it's a better opportunity in the market, because you're not just taking the odds given to you. You're actually dictating what you think it should be, and you're voting with your dollars when you invest. And I think that's what pays off over time.